There's a lot of debate and attention to a question that is stirring up a lot of talks. Is opposition politics dying? Now, since Nigeria gained independence in 1960, the opposition parties have played a defining role in the evolution of our democracy. From the vibrant contestations between the Northern People's Congress, NPC, the National Council of Nigeria, and the Cameroons, NCNC, and the Action Group, AG, in the First Republic, to the turbulent shift of the Second Republic, opposition voices have provided checks, offered alternatives, and at critical moments reshaped national directions. Now, fast forward to the Fourth Republic, the People's Democratic Party, once the dominant ruling party for 16 unbroken years, eventually found itself in the unfamiliar role of the main opposition after 2015. Now, for many Nigerians, this transition marked a new test, not just for the PDP, but for the strength and maturity of opposition politics itself. Today, with the PDP holding its latest national convention amid internal fractures, defections, and questions about its relevance, many are asking whether Nigeria still has a truly vibrant opposition, or whether the space is shrinking at a time the nation needs it the most. So this morning, we want to hear from you. Is the opposition losing its voice or preparing for a comeback? The lines will be open and the numbers will be displayed right on your screen. Send us a WhatsApp message, or better yet, call us in. We'd like to hear from you. Your voice does matter at this point when everything is going. And Maimuna, politics, the elections are close by. Politics have already started getting strong. And just of recent, we just saw the convention. Earlier, we spoke about it. We just saw the convention happened, whereby one court agreed for it to go on, while the other gave an order for it to be stopped. And after that, internal crisis. We have different factions in the PDP. And aside from that, there's a tussle for the national chairmanship for the PDP. And one point the convention held on. So how viable is that convention? And secondly, the expulsion of the faction that apparently are causing, the internal crisis. And then next up, the chairmanship. When it came to the chairmanship, there was, a visit to the court. Sule Lamido took the PDP to the court for them not allowing him to buy the form. So it's a whole lot. So with all that is going on, will they be able to focus in making sure that, they're standing their ground as the PDP that we know, right? And are they still a strong opposition for their APC? So what do you think is going on at this point?
Honestly, with what is going on, the internal crisis they are having, the suspension court orders, the brouhaha and what have you, I don't see PDP as a strong opposition. And this does not mean that, the opposition politics in Nigeria is slowly dying. I don't want to, have that impression. But what we see in the PDP convention is it just shows how weak and how divided that the PDP is in having one voice in putting their house to order and doing the needful as a strong opposition party, like you rightly said, that we know in Nigeria. We have Ade on the line. Good morning, Ade. Thank you for calling in this morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Ade.
Good morning, Nigeria.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's opposition. The opposition politics dying. I don't think so. We have ADC now, which is coming up very strong. PDP is already dead. You see, PDP shoot themselves in the leg. When the southern governors come together, I said the next president should come from the south. They all agree. But when Atiku came, Atiku changed everything that he wants to. And now, people are blaming Wike. I don't know why they are blaming Wike. They should blame Atiku because he's the one that said no. They have the right to come again. After 8 years, it's enough. Are we slaves in the south? No. And they said no. It's southern people that will take him. Atiku will sit down. Here we are to do. So they should blame Atiku, not Wike. PDP, since they have made that part, that's the end. Now look at it. Adamawa governor and Plateau governor, they are against what they did in so-called convention, where they disobeyed the law of the land. because the constitution is what binding us together. When there is no law, everywhere will be anarchy. It will become a banana republic. The PDP, they are taking that decision. And now ADC, they are not careful. If they feature people again, they will lose. Because we deserve to have our areas in the south. We say we are one Nigeria. Why one side will be over another side? No. So equity should be everywhere to be shared. So we have brilliant people all over Nigeria. So it's a common convention. So let's have our areas. They can bring Peter Obi. They can bring any other person in the south to compete with Ashiwaju. I will support that. You see, in the election that passed, I support Obi. So they can bring anybody from the south. You don't need to be Ashiwaju. Then the southern must complete 8 years. Then you go back to the north. That's what we call unity of Nigeria. Because now look at PDP. Everybody is just running away. Governor Adeleke didn't go there, it will soon become. If the one is made to, will soon become. Otherwise, who is going to sign their election form? Nobody. So with all this crisis, it doesn't go well. And what makes me sad is that the whole world is watching us. Like the global village. Everything we are showing today now, I have a friend in America is watching you as I'm watching in UK. You understand? So everybody, it's not everything. So that's why when Trump says want to help us, they say no, don't help us. Then you are showing us where a bandit come to have a meeting and with people and the bandits went back. Are we in a banana republic? Who is joking? Who are they joking with? God will rescue my country, Nigeria. God bless you. Good morning.
Good morning, Adi, and
thank you very much,
for calling in.
You know, when it comes to politics and party crisis, it is quite hard sometimes to understand the intricacies of what is going on because there is a lot of he said, she said, and aside from absolutely, and aside from that, you know, having to come to an agreement would actually help that party. And aside from, you know, PDP, as mentioned earlier, there are other parties, but are they strong opposition for, you know, for the ruling party? And that is the question at this point. Is there strong opposition, a stronghold for opposition in Nigeria in politics?
I'll come back to answer your question. We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. In the language, what you say, like PDP, the political opposition. Quite okay, PDP.
All right, can we have your name and location, please? What's your name and where are you calling from?
I am Edwin, here from Otukun State.
All right, good morning. Go ahead with your thoughts.
As you realize, last at least say, PDP showed herself. Because they died long ago. Because like opposition, like the ADC coming up, they are the only opposition we know now. You know, for PDP to not the PDP can make it to that 2027 election because they have been adamant, fighting themselves for so I don't see anything. I don't see any hope for PDP in coming election. So that's what I take this morning.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you for calling.
You know, at this point, the thing that really piqued my attention when it came to PDP is a lot of people have lost, you know, confidence in the PDP and it being a stronghold. And aside from that, when it comes to the expulsion of the faction, which is the Wike-led faction, the expulsion of Wike, Fayose, as well as Anyanwu. How is that? So my question is, how is that going to affect, you know, the dealings of the PDP at this point? But at a point, you wanted to make a point.
With the PDP convention, it's going to be a whole long week for the PDP. I'm really looking up to see what else is going to come up. But then we need to understand that in today's Nigeria, we need a strong opposition that would put the present administration accountable. But then we have another caller before we continue. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Hussein. I'm calling from Zaria.
Good morning.
Good morning, Hussein. Go ahead.
I think the issue goes beyond just the opposition political parties dying. I believe we are in a very serious moral crisis because the political class are not interested in party ideology. All what they are after is what they will gain politically as individuals. And I think that is a very serious threat to our political culture. And I think something needs to be done very urgently, honestly speaking. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling in and sharing your thoughts. The major issue that a lot of people will say it's affecting the PDP is, you know, the hunger for power control. Everybody wants to be in control in the party. And even on this platform, we've had, you know, PDP chieftains come in to say the ego, the pride of each single member of that party. Absolutely. No one is willing to keep, you know, that aside and face the growth of the party.
For the greater good
of the party.
Collective. Yes.
And another question that I keep asking is how many defections are we going to see before 2027? Because
it's been a lot so far.
You know. Presently now we have the Taraba State governor who has openly defected from the APC to the PDP and will be joining the APC officially on Wednesday. That is one. Are we going to have another governor within the week to defect from the PDP to the APC? So these are questions that we're asking. And at this point, the PDP need to sit down and put their house in order. We keep saying this, put their house in order. But then we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you very much, Bagudu and Kiyawa. You are on to SMB calling from Lagos.
Good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Go ahead with your thoughts.
Thank you very much. You see, I'm always advocating on our leaders to learn how to respect our institutions. And what is going on within the PDP is that lack of respect to our institution. I could remember a very long time ago, there is this issue of anti-party right even before this 2023 election, but none of the action taken. The PDP constitution outlines penalties for anti-party activities, including expulsion, as seen in the recent case of the former Rivers State Governor, who happens to be the federal capital minister, the PAYO says, the former National Secretary Samuel Anyawu. But the question is, if there is this outlines in the party constitution, why does the leaders allow the violation of the constitution? Remember, there is this, no any agency that doesn't have this constitution. The expulsion attached with members found, I think, guilty or any of anti-party activities can be expelled from the party as stated in Articles 10, Section 6, and then 58, Section 1B, Section CF, IJL, as well as Section 59, subsection 1G. Why is it that the party leadership is taking long for almost 2 years? That's the question. Must we keep on going on this present predicament that we will not even respect our institutions? That's the question. How can we be making laws that will not be obeyed or that will not be respected, and we expect good things to happen? This is a very good example for the other political parties to learn from their mistakes and do the needful for the betterment of this country. There is no how we can continue on politicking without any opposition. And we need very strong, reliable opposition at least. Opposition does not mean that they doesn't like the present government or something of that. No, they were alerting the government on doing the right thing. So sometimes I ask myself, are we aware of the concept of democracy? Why can't we at least do the needful for once, at least? We are advocating on our leaders. As well as, I'm not a card-carrying member of any political party, for God's sake. But the reality must be taught. Otherwise, we keep on going on this present predicament. So I think this decision of the PDP party, certain other, the giant members of the party, is the decision that should have been taken for long. So that is why sometimes they said any justice delay is justice denied. So I think for betterment of this country, our politicians should do the needful for at least for the sustainable of our democracy, and then maybe we can patch the cracking wall. I don't know, but honestly, PDP now is in different crisis because of the delay. If their constitution made mention, this is the penalties for those who found in anti-party activities, then why is it taking them so long until now? That's the question. Are we for real? This is one of the most giant political party in the whole African continent. But look at the situation today. Thank you very much. I remain SMB from Lagos, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you for calling
very
in
much,
this morning.
Maimuna, looking at this and, you know, the way one of the biggest opposition party, which is the PDP, is going on, and as well as the internal crisis that they've been battling with, do you think that it is time for other political parties to swoop into that position and try and make a mark for themselves and get a stronghold so that at least they can be on the top tier of political parties that are here, especially, let's see, for example, the ADC at this point with all the big wigs that they do have in that political party. We should at least at this point be hearing some realignments, you know, and plans on how they want to make sure that they are some force to be reckoned with.
We need a strong opposition as it is at this point, and it's really long overdue that, you know, new political parties, let's have a shift, you know, in all of this, and then make sure that we give the ruling party a run for their money. Should we say a run for their money? Or bring them to account when the time is right.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes,
hello,
good morning. Thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Nimrod Diwajibo. I'm calling from Nasarawa State.
Thank you for calling
in. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead. Okay, I think we lost that caller. So, Hauwa, as I was saying, we need a shift in our opposition politics at this point. Like you said, we need a strong opposition that would, you know, spice up our politics. We're in a democratic system. We don't want absolutely. We don't want, you know, we don't want a situation whereby we just have, you know, a one-party state at the end of the day. But then we have Shetima on the line.
Yes. Hello. Good morning, Shetima. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Hauwa. Good morning, Bagudu.
Good morning,
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Trust TV. This is Shetima Yakutima calling from Maiduguri.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Thank you. What I'm trying to say here is, it is obvious the PDP have become weak. The only personnel that remain in PDP which is strong is Sulela Mido. Somebody with vision, somebody with sincerity in politics, and somebody who is straightforward. But notwithstanding, ruling party should not be celebrated. Ruling party can only celebrate the winning if at all they have changed their movement, because they have provoked all Nigerian populace. And all Nigerian populace, they become an opposition at one side, plus ADC, which is emerging a new party now. And by God's willing, I think APC should not be celebrating, because they have defeated PDP, they do not defeat Nigerians. The only thing that they can defeat Nigeria is if they have changed their movement. They bring a sound government, a good government, a government that produce a credible leaders. If we see the change in Nigerian security, if we see the change in education, if we see the change in health, so APC can scale through. But believe me, the way we feel, the way we are experiencing, the way the Nigeria is moving, 2027 will be a very narrow chance for ruling party to scale, because we see enough, we feel enough, and we are still feeling. So they should not think that they have been organizing the campaign. This the campaign, believe me, is a time bomb. It's a time bomb. because all the great politicians, they are full of APC today. By the time the cake will not be enough for them to share, that is the time that APC will be scattered. And we are waiting for that scattering time, 2027, by God's willing. I am calling for masses of Nigeria. We should exercise patience. As I always say, our voters' card should remain aside. 2027 things will change by God's willing. And we pray hard for Almighty Allah to make us to emerge winners. Because all these things that is going place, that is taking place, they are all is an arrangement to succeed towards looting, towards giving us a hard experience. What did we lack in Nigeria? We have everything. But insecurity, it was everywhere. Insecurity, it was everywhere. A government that cannot maintain security, a government that cannot give sound health, good education, that's the government that people, they have been jumping into that political party. This we know that this job of the campaign, it is towards for selfishness interest. But I pray to Almighty Allah. God will make us to emerge winner 2027 for a better change. All these politicians, bad politicians, we are going to fill them out. We are going to remove them out of the government corridor by God's willing. Thank you so much and have a nice day.
Thank you, Shetima, for calling in. In as much as we need a strong opposition and we're looking and hoping for a better Nigeria, we don't want it to be in chaos, in troubles,
absolutely,
and what have you. We want it to be smooth. A healthy competition is what we ask for at this point.
Looking for a healthy competition at this point, and when you look at all the political parties that we do have, aside from the ADC, we have the LP, the Labour Party, and then we have the NNPP, which is the New Nigerian People's Party. And at this point, do you believe that at any point any of those political parties can emerge as some force to be reckoned with?
I don't see the NNPP because recently Kwankwaso came out to say that the party is open to collaboration with, the ruling party. So I'm not even looking at that. So
we're looking at a coalition or something like
well,
that?
I don't know their plans, but based on that statement that he made, the party is open to collaborate with whoever is ready to.
That's another strategy.
That's
for
another
the
strategy,
APC,
absolutely.
Believe, yes.
But then we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Ibrahim.
Good morning,
Good
Ibrahim.
morning. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead with your thoughts.
We're talking about parties. Do we really have parties in Nigeria? Tell me any party that had a majority that has 60 members for the past 5 years that have stayed 25 years of democracy. How many people can beat their chest and say they are part of a party for 25 years in Nigeria? So it just shows you that people form political parties or associations just to make money. That's all. To just propagate their interests. Have we ever had any Democrat moving to the Republican Party? Even in Ghana here. Have you heard of NDC man moving from NDC to MP? Small Ghana here. Yet Nigeria is the agenda of Africa and yet nobody is moving to the Why? Why? How can you win an election on platform and then you sit down without any control? Just say you've moved from PDP to APC, and people are hailing you. Nigerians are hailing from doing that, and the whole president is happy to do that. I remember this president was in opposition, but it was in power, and Obasanjo, he struggled Obasanjo for good 8 years to be an AD governor in Lagos State. The Obasanjo even went to court to think of the Obasanjo for only local government fund. What happened to him? So why is not maintaining that same status quo for the good of the country? Assuming everybody could become APC, so what happens? Does that give us good governance? Health, education, agriculture, infrastructure, security? Does that mean that's very well in this country? As big as Nigeria is, everybody should be in one pot? Please, I think with the media, and this is my personal opinion, but I think you should put more development agenda on your platform than this political things you're playing. Because we don't have political parties. It's better for you to educate Nigerians how force their government, whoever to do things that benefit them. Because I don't see anything as a political party here. Today I'm APC, tomorrow I'm PDP, the next I'm PDP. There's no ideology, there's no sincerity. Everybody just trying to square up things because he wants to make money. And go where? Where are we taking the money to? Where are we taking the money to? And nobody even thinks of this country. We should take the example of Trump. Trump came into power and said, America first. Today, where's America? Everybody's running away. Despite all the support he had from the right-wing people, America is now in serious trouble all over the world. And that's why they're trying to invade Nigeria for personal reasons and personal interest because of their billionaire supporters, not because he loves anybody. So please, the media, I want you to make a town hall meeting to tell us to let Nigerians voice their grievance to the government on issues that does not matter on our decision. Because all this party thing you're talking about is personal. Hauwa, it's personal. It has nothing to do with Nigeria. As far as I'm concerned, it has nothing to do with all this getting around, moving people from one place to the other. It's all for personal agenda. Has kidnapping stopped? Banditry hasn't stopped. Has the corruption stopped? The budget in 2025, how much of it have been implemented? We are not talking about that. And we're busy for the whole 2 years talking about PDP and AP. What for Christ's sake? Please, media, tell us something better, please.
All right.
I don't think PDP or party is a national issue. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that. You know, a lot of Nigerians are quite disappointed when it comes to political parties,
Absolutely.
when it comes to politics in Nigeria, as well as the trajectory of democracy at this point. Looking at it, a lot have lost so much hope with understanding that all the people, all the politicians only have their best interests at heart, which needs to change, because at the end of the day, for you to enter a political party, you have to have an alignment when it comes to ideologies, when it comes to, you know, your vision for the country. But at this point, it's seeming like everyone is in for it for themselves.
Absolutely.
But let us take...
Even,
go ahead.
But even the fact that, you know, Nigerians are clamoring for a shift when it comes to the opposition politics. Another thing bothers me when, you know, when we get to hear that new political parties might or will be springing up before the 2027 elections. One worry for Nigerians is the defection of, you know, the same, should I call them old politicians, or the usual traditional politicians that we know, you know, defecting from their parties and going into this new party. So it's like a reshuffling of, you know, same leaders that we have. And then Nigerians will always say that, and that is why we have these persistent issues that are yet to be sorted out, because the same politicians who are leaving these parties to a new party are still carrying
over those ideologies, or lack of ideology and the mentality.
Absolutely, and that would really affect any new political party that is willing to do the needful, because it's like, you know, the bad egg coming to pollute the new egg, or the fresh eggs at the end of the day. But then we hope everything turns out well.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, this is Sally. I'm calling from Benin City, Edo State.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. It's a privilege to join you for the first time, even though I've been following you for some time now.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to say that the issue that we're facing in Nigeria, in most cases we talk about the party, APC, PDP, ANPP, I think the challenge is not the party. It's individual that drive the process. So if you notice, most of the challenges we are facing right now is the question I would like to ask us, the people. Do we truly want a change? Do we want a better country? Do we want a country that is free of at least basic amenities? Or we just continue to follow all manner of stuff as long as it suits us? For example, PDP pride themselves to rule this nation for at least for 60 years. One of the questions we are not to ask those who are in the PDP right now, have they learned their mistakes from the 16 years of their rule in Nigeria? And now you now heard that people said APC came into office, they didn't prepare for governance. Now, can we now say now that APC now they are learning from the PDP? You also now ask another question. When you hear they say that the president planted some move in some other party to destabilize them. Now, PDP had a constitution. For that convention now, I read in the paper that they suspended that convention, or the court gave an injunction that they should not hold that convention. Can PDP also try to obey court rule? If you say APC does not obey court rule, why can't they obey court rule? Whether it's from a magistrate court, whether it's from area customary court, as long as it's from court and it's valid, why can't they say, but the fact that court has put an injunction that we should not hold this convention, can they also obey to show that they are a party of order, party that obey the rule of law and want to do what is right? Now, if you also notice, someone like Senator Bukola Saraki gave an advice and said they should hold on. Let's have our crisis resolved. Why do we constantly have internal crisis? Once a political party loses an election, there will be crisis. Why? And we want to make a better Nigeria. We are saying that this was not what it's supposed to do. So I think that we the people need to ask ourselves. Because whether you have the national high school or not, who were the people that voted? Because when you lose the election, the next thing you see, there will be crisis in the election. Why? Because two processes don't follow. Look at the PDP now, for example. 2023 election, their commission said that they should zone the presidential candidate to the south. They ended up not doing that. So when you go for a party that cannot even settle its own internal crisis, do you think they want to resolve the national crisis in the country? So I think that if we want Nigeria to work, everybody must obey law and order. It doesn't matter the party you move to. When it doesn't get to you, there will be crisis. But I'm sure that if the two process is followed, you allow a free and fair primary, you will not have a public cry. But when you circumvent the internal crisis, when you not decide to create chaos without allowing those who are qualified to run the process, you will always have crisis. So this one, you find out that when a particular party candidate lose election, there's a crisis. For example, let me use a state for example. When PDP was when the former governor, Godwin didn't get a ticket, he went to PDP. And they were loyal members of the PDP who were supposed to have applied the ticket. They didn't give it to them, they gave it to him. When the man became governor and created crisis in the party, now he has finished his tenure. Party PDP in the Edo State have never been in order because of that kind of situation. So I think that instead of us blaming the name or blaming the party, we should blame the people that run the party because it tells the people to run the process. So the people must allow internal mechanisms to obey their rule of law or the law they have. If they don't follow the law, at the end of the day, they don't start blaming the ANEC, blaming courts. If you look at all the judgments, ANEC was asked not to go there to look at what they are doing there. So if tomorrow now, everybody that is featured from that convention, ANEC does not recommend them, so that APC or people have brought them over. So I think that if we want Nigeria to work, because there are too many suffering, insecurity, hunger, unemployment is very by the day. So what we should be talking about is how do we make Nigeria work? Whether it is party A or party B, how can it work for us? If that is not in the primary assignment, then the purpose is already defeated. Thank you very much. This is Sonny from Benin.
Thank you very much for that. I believe we have a couple of WhatsApp messages.
Absolutely.
We have a first one from Nandi Betty from Ogoja. And they said, good morning, Trust TV. In a situation where political parties are established without ideological foundations, it's difficult to see any line separating a ruling party from the ones not in government. How can the ruling APC have a prominent bouncer operating from the PDP, the supposed opposition party? This is not normal politics. What we have here is democracy of the stomach. With the gale of daily porting of politicians from other parties to the ruling APC, it is clear that whatever voice the opposition was supposed to have is finally dying out. The rumbling within PDP is the final swan song for opposition in the present dispensation. It is the nunc dimittis for opposition politics in the country and the arrival of a one-party state. This is very disgusting and most unfortunate. I thank you very much, Nandi Betty, for your contribution.
We have a WhatsApp message from Husseini from Zaria, and it says, the problem is that our political elites are becoming political jobbers. They operate outside the basic human moral standard expected of them. The concept of party ideology is gradually fading away. It is a clear threat to our democracy. I think it is high time for the upcoming generation to chart a new course for better Nigeria, as this current political class have failed. Thank you, Husseini from Zaria, for sending in your message.